Today, we become legends.
Hey, my name's Inter, and welcome back to the channel for some Smite 2 OB12 data mining that just released. There's some spoilers about the next god that is potentially going to be coming to the game, ranked arena apparently, and some other stuff, so I thought we'd just go over this post. As always, data mining is just providing early insights into what Hi-Rez is working on. It doesn't necessarily mean that anything that appears in data mining will come to the game, and even if it does come to the game, it doesn't mean it will be in the exact form portrayed in data mining. They're essentially just picking apart the game files, looking for things that are in there that we don't know about. It can be inaccurate sometimes, definitely has been in the past. It's generally relatively accurate on a lot of things, but don't take it as gospel, basically. But yeah, without further ado, let's jump into the new mining. We've got OB12 as well as some stuff from OB11 as well that I didn't bother making a video on because there wasn't that much from OB11, but we'll be covering both in this video. So first up, there's some new skins and stuff. I don't think I covered this as well. I think this is from OB11. Artemis seems to be getting a legendary evolution skin. I'm not sure if it's just a new type of skin or a new kind of prism. He speculates that it's a tier 5 skin, just like Smite 1, but you can purchase or use one specific evolution of the skin, presumably via the prism system, which is interesting. You know, whether or not this will be accurate or not, I don't know, because legendary skins aren't tier 5s, mythics are tier 5s, so that's kind of interesting. If it's tagged as legendary in the game, it might not be a tier 5, because that's what mythics are. The Zoo skin is a mythic skin. Legendary skins are just like tier 4s, basically, you know, skins with extra, like, ability effects and custom voice packs and stuff like that. But this is an interesting idea, I think. You know, a tier 5 that also has prisms where you can use a specific evolution line. That's what people have been asking for, really, you know, to try and bring back some classic tier 5 skins where you can use a specific evolution of the tier 5 as a prism. Artemis doesn't have a classic tier 5 though, as far as I'm aware, in Smite 1, so this might be an entirely new skin if this does end up coming, but this seems like very early stuff. I'm not sure how this is going to check out. Some other new skins though, Aphrodite Beach Babe, an absolute classic that a lot of Afro players love. That's going to be coming with prisms at some point. Apollo Bit Blaster as well, that's I believe a classic skin. Kadesha Protector of the Light and Plushie, again also all classic skins. I believe Plushie's going to have prisms, which makes sense. I feel like this is one of the skins that could go pretty hard with prisms, to be honest. Kepri Chef Special, they've added prisms too. We kind of already knew this one was going to be coming at some point in this massive skin list, but yeah, that's going to be having prisms, the Lobster Kepri skin. And that's it for all the new ones that showed up in the OB12 data mining. Of course, there's this massive list of skins if you want to check it out. I'll link the post down below, or you can pause the video while I'm scrolling through here, but yeah, there's a massive list of skins that are slated to come to the game at some point. Next up though, we have Arena Competitive, which is interesting. Make a name for yourself in the arena where the best of the best gather to show their combat prowess, dominate team fights, control momentum, and outplay your opponents in this high-stakes competitive battleground. And then also Arena Quick Play is listed there as well. What I think this is going to be is sort of like the in-game tournaments that they've been talking about, you know, the Conquest Cups, where you can queue up on a weekend and it'll get you, it's sort of like a draft league almost. Not a draft, it's like randomized teams. But you can kind of queue up in this temporary queue that might be available on weekends. That's kind of how they've described the Conquest Cups. I feel like this might be under that system, you know, not a permanent ranked arena mode or anything like that. Because they've said before they don't want to do ranked joust. I think they will want to do ranked arena even less than ranked joust. So maybe this is going to be just a temporary queue that's active, you know, once every week or once every couple of weeks, and you can queue into arena competitive if you want to. We'll see how that shakes out. You know, they tried ranked arena in Smite 1 and everyone knows how that went. If you were playing back then, basically it just became the most boring game mode in the entire game. Everyone just sat in the fountain throwing abilities over the wall to clear minion waves, so you don't put yourself at any risk whatsoever and you get all of the tickets, and then basically you just come out at like the very last minute, clean up a couple of kills and win the game. That was generally how ranked arena went when it was a thing in Smite 1, so we'll see. Maybe this will be a little different. Maybe mindsets have changed since back then. But yeah, I highly doubt this will be its own queue, to be honest. They would not want to split the player base of arena by doing that. I don't think that's the reason why they're not adding ranked joust, and they're potentially looking at, you know, a hybrid system where ranked is unlocked at like a certain SR in joust and then picks and pans are enabled. It's probably going to be something similar with arena. You know, either they'll do that system where you hit a certain SR in arena and it becomes competitive, but I doubt that, to be honest, because arena is very much intended to be a super casual mode, and I don't think some arena players that are like pretty decent at arena will be very happy about randomly getting picks and bans turned on for them and stuff like that. People just want to play their favorite god and slam some arena queues, so they probably won't do that. And I doubt it'll be a separate queue either, so my guess is this will probably be sort of like the Conquest Cups that they've been talking about, where it's a one-time queue on like a weekend or whatever, and you can queue into arena competitive. Some very tiny updates to the god release schedule. I can't remember what was updated in OB11 for this, but basically Mercury is now 100% confirmed because of the PTS. They haven't officially announced him yet on Titan Talk, but on the PTS yesterday, Mercury was listed as coming June 30th, so we know Mercury is going to be the next god, even though they haven't announced it officially yet on Titan Talk or anything like that. And then Wukong is up to a 98% chance, Hui also a 98% chance, so could be either of these, I suppose, but people are thinking it's Wukong in OB14, and then probably Hui OB15, and then Janus has gone up to an 80% chance, so it's looking like Janus might be the most likely god after Hui in OB16. And then Sylvanas, Ratatoska, Horus, and a brand new deity are also slated for like OB15 plus in the data mining. And then of course there's some linked models for Mercury and Wukong as well, but I think we've probably seen these in previous posts. Next up though, the brand new deity is slated to be Balder according to data mining. Balder is a new Smite 2 deity taking Hasta's spot. As we all know, Hasta got delayed. He was too technical, too hard to make work, and they want to sort of plan a bigger release for him, which will probably be happening like maybe early next year or something like that. Hasta was supposed to release when Scylla released, but yeah, they couldn't get it done. It's too complicated, too involved, so they've delayed him, and Balder is going to be coming next. At least according to data mining. Data mining has been inaccurate before. It's thought Bakekojiro was going to be Nanook, the Inuit polar bear god. It turned out to be Bakekojiro, so this isn't always 100% accurate, but if it is going to be Balder, that's super exciting, man. Balder's always a god that I'm like, how is he not in Smite yet? He's such a popular Norse deity, such an iconic one. Surprised that he wasn't in the game yet. It says there's not much info, but the files have some tags which may not be 100% accurate at this early stage. Hybrid carry, jungle, mid, solo, intelligence, magical basic attack, magical god. And, you know, we can probably expect some kind of invulnerability / immortality / resistance or something like that in Baldur's kit, obviously due to his lore. But yeah, that's pretty cool, man. I'll be excited if it is Balder for the next god release, to be honest. You know, Balder straight into Hasta is going to be a very exciting lineup, I think. Obviously, we're going to be waiting a while, most likely. I don't think Balder's going to be coming out like super soon or anything like that, because they have said they want to prioritize ported gods over new gods at the moment. And probably around, you know, the time that the game full releases, they'll start focusing more on new gods once they've got a bunch of classic gods ported, because they feel like that's important for the game right now. You know, getting a lot of people back that are not playing the game because their mains aren't in it. But yeah, when we do eventually get Balder, whenever that is, sometime later this year, and then we get Hasta sort of like maybe early next year or something like that, going to be super exciting, I think. Balder into Hasta, very exciting lineup. And honestly, a lot of fan favorites in general. That's what they've been going for in Smite 2. It seems like, you know, Mordred is a fan favorite for Arthurian lovers. Hecate is a fan favorite in general. People have wanted Hecate in the game for a long time. Aladdin was kind of out of left field, but really exciting, you know, something different, not a traditional god. And then Balder and Hasta, you know, very iconic, popular requests. But yeah, doesn't necessarily mean Balder is coming, but he's appeared in the data mining files, which is interesting. Hui's got a little bit of ability information, but basically nothing. Janus, same thing. It's just got his passive bonus ability damage. That's all that's listed at the moment. Mercury has more full ability information. Obviously, Mercury's going to be the next god according to the PTS, so that this guy will be sort of revealed in about 2 weeks from now. So you would expect him to be mostly done. Also, like, doesn't seem to be any +1s in for him at the moment. I'm pretty sure everything here is normal, like ruin slow immunity, passive movement speed, active attack speed, strength scaling only, which I think makes sense. I don't think Mercury needs any intelligence scaling. Dex basic attack deals increased damage. This all seems regular, so I assume Mercury's +1s aren't in yet. Based on previous data mining, that seems to be how they do it. They implement the god as they are in Smite 1, get them feeling good as they are in Smite 1, and then they add the +1s. So at the moment, Mercury has no +1s, but obviously he's going to get some. Wukong's in as well with a decent bit of kit information. Not everything, but a decent bit. The ability to... everything seems normal, I would say, other than this is weird. Increased strength and intelligence on the passive, which is kind of strange considering all of his abilities only list strength scaling here. So maybe it's up in the air on whether Wukong's going to get intelligence scaling. It's interesting. I think from a gameplay perspective, intelligence scaling on Wukong would make a lot of sense and be really fun. You know, he's always been that sort of like highly ability based. You can build damage on him and build like an ability based damage build, and he's got good poke and good all in. Can almost play a bit like an ability based assassin in that regard, and I do think intelligence will be valuable in terms of like gameplay for him. Lore wise, I'm not super well versed on Wukong. Would intelligence make sense for him? I don't think so. Maybe if he was a bit more of like a strategic fighter, intelligence could make a bit more sense. You know, a bit like Guan Yu having intelligence scaling. That's kind of like the lore reasoning for that. You know, he was a great strategic mind in general, so he's got intelligence scaling. But it doesn't always make sense what they give to gods, to be honest. Like Sobek having no strength scaling doesn't make a whole lot of sense just based on like lore. He's a giant crocodile that's insanely strong and throws people over his head. Like you would think he'd have strength scaling, so it doesn't always make sense. But yeah, gameplay wise, I think intelligence will make sense for Wukong. Lore wise, I'm not sure. Up in the air. Let me know down below if you're like well versed well-versed on Wukong's lore, whether intelligence scaling would make sense from a lore perspective. But yeah, that's pretty much all the data mining updates. Potential new deity, some updated info on when the next gods are going to be coming. Mercury was confirmed by the PTS, and then they think Wukong is going to be the other god that they'll reveal in like the mini roadmap that they're probably going to do next week. Maybe they'll push that mini roadmap forward, considering they leaked Mercury on the PTS. You know, at this point, they may as well do it this week or something. Also, I'm interested in what's going to be happening with these Gold Furies, man. These appeared in data mining a good while ago, like at least a month, maybe 2 months ago. These elemental Gold Furies appeared in mining, and we haven't heard anything official about them yet, so that's interesting. I just think this would be a really cool system, you know, different Gold Furies that give different effects. It's almost like an expanded version of like the Onion Primal Fury from Smite 1. So yeah, that stuff should be interesting if maybe we get any information on that. You know, it's possible it's been scrapped, it's data mining, you know, it's possible they were working on this as like an early iteration. These models clearly aren't finished. They're just like recolored versions of a standard Gold Fury. So it's possible they just kind of like did some 10-part, tried to put this in the game, didn't really like it, and gave up on it. But it'd be exciting if we got some information on those Gold Furies. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this data mining down below. You're excited about the stuff coming to the game, and I'll catch you guys for another one probably later today for a Time Talk recap. But I'll catch you guys then. Peace.